Well, our next question will be for Dr. Josh Zhu, who's a special guest today, who's come all the way from Beijing. He heads our pharmacology lab there. Dr. Zhu is an MD and a PhD, so I don't know how long he was in school, how old he was by the time he got out, but obviously very interested in vitality at this point. He has a PhD in molecular physiology. And Dr. Zhu, there's been a lot of question about the mouse on the right. But before you tell us about those experiments, talk to us about what you do in Beijing.
Thanks, Mark. I'm directing a business and operation at Beijing Clinical Center, Clinical and Pharmacology Center, and we are doing a number of research studies, both preclinical and clinical, for efficacy and the safety of our pharmacy products. I'd like to introduce this group, a few of Beijing scientists. They are very famous, and they are conducting numbers of very interesting studies. And they put together of this film, a video. You already see it a few minutes ago, right? This is a mouse on right, mouse on left. And we are very excited about this research finding, and we put in an abstract and presented in scientific meetings. For example, in the Oxygen Club of California, and this is a World Congress, and we went to Nutraceutical Research Award. This is a picture of Dr. Angela receiving the award we went.
Now let me interrupt you here for a moment. In case you didn't know, scientists are fairly interesting, sometimes a little geeky, but does this slide sort of prove to you that scientists really have no fashion sense whatsoever? You can't take us anywhere. Go ahead, Josh.
The following couple of slides, I'm going to show you some data, and those data has not been shown before today. And this study measures treadmill exercise time to exhaustion. If you notice, if you look at this slide for the control group, the exercise time is about 20 minutes, right? But after 5 weeks consumption of ageLOC vitality, the exercise time increased by 63%. I wonder what's happened. And we further studied muscle glycogen. We know the glycogen is the energy source for our body. Mitochondria is using glycogen to make ATP. Right? So after exercise, muscle glycogen depleted. This is very normal. But after 5 weeks of consumption of ageLOC vitality, muscle glycogen increased by 24%. That means our mitochondria is working more efficiently, maintain a higher level of muscle glycogen to support longer exercise, endurance exercise, and vitality.
Thanks, Dr. Zhu. And I think that really was borne out as we look at the mouse on the right and start to understand the kind of energy and vitality that they have. And when you look at that graph that Dr. Zhu just showed you, it pretty much shows that if at the end of exercise you have more of that fuel left in your body, it's a little bit like a car that is running much more efficiently and getting more miles per gallon. So thanks again. Okay, now I hope you've had a sense that this is really some powerful stuff. It's some powerful research and development, and it seems to be a powerful product. And that's led to really a fairly common question that we're getting now. You know, we're talking about gene expression changes. Is that really safe? I'll let Dr. Stephen Wood answer this question. Steve Wood is a PhD nutritionist, and he's also a registered dietitian, a very conservative one at that, right, Steve?
Thanks, Mark. I want to express my excitement for ageLOC. I think as scientists we are very monotone. We don't show much excitement, but this is exciting. And I also feel like, as Blake mentioned this morning, we ought to have some fun. I didn't realize science was so much fun. Quickly on safety, we have a process, a a rigorous quality standard, which we call the 6S process. One of those S's is safety. And so we take it very seriously to look at the safety of the ingredients as well as the products that we manufacture. I should stress though, when we talk about safety, we're talking about gene expression or gene expression profiles. We're not changing genes. This is not genetic therapy or that we're changing the genes in some fashion. Those are set. It's the expression of those genes, and we're looking at making these patterns more youthful or how they were previously, and so it's a very safe process. The uniqueness of the ingredients that make up the blend for Vitality have been used for centuries and have a long track record of safety, which also provides the safety aspects of the product. We've also looked at banned substance testing. We've tested Vitality. We've not detected any banned substances, and we're pursuing banned substance certification with this product. I'm sure many will be pleased with that. Lastly, we've done several clinical studies on the individual ingredients and have been shown, they've all been shown to be safe. We've also tested the ageLOC Vitality product. The tolerance is very good. The adverse events are minimal, and they're no different between the experimental group and the control group. And as I talk about safety in the ingredients, many may not realize, as we've looked at some of the studies, the human clinical trials, this just happens to be one, where we tested one of the ingredients. We looked at VO2 max, which is a measure of physical fitness. And with this, we noted that after consumption of this for 5 weeks, there was an improvement in VO2 max, as well as provided the safety aspects of this ingredient.
Thanks. Well, another question that we often get then is this credible science? I mean, somehow it really seems too good to be true to some people. How do you measure something like credibility? Can you answer that question? Is this credible science? And what's the metric for credibility in the science world?
We've been extremely busy explaining as well as presenting our data. These are just a few of the conferences that we've attended. The Oxygen Club of California, this World Congress that Dr. Zhu and Angela received a research award. Our colleagues from LifeGen presented some of our data at the Kalangi conference in Barcelona, Spain. I returned from Switzerland just a few weeks ago at the Gordon conference, and Dr. Frola had also presented some of the work at a symposium that he chaired in Tokyo.
Great. So really that's a measure, is when we present the science to other scientists in the research world and we get their feedback. And they'll tell us pretty quickly if they think it's not real. So we've had very good feedback from that, haven't we? The other question that we get that really follows that is, do we have intellectual property protection on this? Are there patents on the ingredients or on this science?
There's two key patents. There's one on a screening patent, which allows us to look at the identification and really measuring aging as well as youthfulness. And this was really the core patent that LifeGen developed and patented. We have access to that, as well as there's a patent pending on this formulation. It's known as oral formulations for counteracting the effects of aging. I should also mention that other ingredients included in Vitality are unique to Carbonex and Nu Skin. That they're a patented process, as well as they're unique ingredients that only we at Nu Skin have.
Now, thanks. It's good to know, isn't it? So, another question that we get, and I think as a registered dietitian, you're the perfect person to answer this. What are your thoughts on nutrition as it is combined with this ageLOC Vitality product?
I think that's a great question. We know that nutrition and the foundation of good nutrition is important for optimal gene expression. So LifePak Nano are the perfect companion products for Vitality. They also include antioxidants which protect DNA from free radical damage.
Thanks very much. We're just going to start winding up then, and I'll summarize some of the things that we've heard today, thanks to our panel. Aging is a complex, a really very complex thing. And it's really important that at Nu Skin we stand behind our science and that we try to target aging at the source. Now, we started really with nutrition, and we've combined that nutrition and antioxidant science in the past to really make this the most scientifically sound anti-aging strategy on the planet as we put this science together in our product called LifePak. But now we've found really the most exciting anti-aging discovery in recent years, and that is gene expression science. We understand now that this gene expression science really helps to target aging at the source. We don't have to be scientists. I know that there are some doctors in the audience, not so many PhDs. You don't have to be scientists to understand this, but there are a couple of take-home messages. And that is, we're targeting aging at the source, that in order to do that effectively, it takes gene expression science. You don't really have to go any deeper than that, really, except to know that Nu Skin also is a credible company. We have our own scientists, but we also collaborate with other world-renowned scientists, in this case Dr. Cole and Dr. Weinrich at LifeGene Technologies. And that enables us then to target gene expression at the source and help your genes to express themselves in a useful fashion. So if you've missed something, don't worry. Some people have said to us, you know, Dr. Bartlett, I want all of the science and none of the marketing fluff. Well, you can do that. Where do you get that from? Product support. So 1-800-487-1000. That's our product support line. Call them and you can get all of the science that we have sort of downloaded to you. We love our jobs, but really when it's all said and done, you just need to try the product and see if it works for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before the scientists leave the stage, we have a special guest that's come in today. He's come all the way from Beijing. He's just a little guy. He's very shy, but he wanted to stop by and tell you he's still alive and he's got a lot of vitality. Ladies and gentlemen, at 115 years of age, the mouse on the right.